Hello there, welcome to CXC Math TV. Today we will be doing the January 2022 Paper 1 for Mathematics. Really nice. With that being said, let us get started. So the first question says, what percentage of 40 is 8? So what you're going to do is put 8 and you divide it by 40, then you multiply it by 100. Alright, so we're going to evaluate this. We know 8 into itself goes 1 time, 8 into 40 goes 5 times, and then this will work out to be 100 over 5, and 100 over 5 is 20. So in that case, 8 is 20% of 40. Wow! So 40 is 5 times the number 8, in other words. Nice. Now number 2, the number 3.14063 written correct to 3 decimal places. So this is 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So look at the number 6 right here. Since that number 6 is greater than 5, we know that we're going to round up. We're going to round it up to 3.141. And that would be option B. Alright, so number 3, it says if 4.3 times 0.37 is 1.591, then 0.43 times 370 is. Now, this is close to 50% of the number, right? 0.5 would be 50%. Right? No, we're just estimating. We don't want to do any calculation, right? A half of 370 is somewhere of about maybe 170, 180, around in that region, right? So 0.43 times 370 is going to be 100 and something. The only option we see that is close to 100 and something is option C. Alright, that's the only option there. Question 4, it says the first 3 multiples of 3, 4, and 6 are common multiples, that is. The first 3 common multiples, already we know option A is out. Option B would be out because it says multiples. Multiples of 3 are like 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so forth. Alright, now 6, 8, 12. First thing, 8 is not a multiple of 6. So it has to be option D. Alright? Alright, question number 5. So it says if 350 is shared in a 2:5 ratio, then the smaller share is. So notice 350 is the total, it's the sum. Right? It's the sum. 350 is the sum. So 350, that is the sum. The sum would be what? The 2 parts, 5 plus 2, which is 7. So that's the whole. 350 is the sum or the full total. So we're going to write 7 over 7. Alright? And we want to find the smaller share. The smaller share would be the 2 out of 7. And we don't know how much that is. We can just call that X. Now, since we're dividing it up into 7 pieces, I'm just showing you a quick way, right? If you were to divide 350 by 7, you'd get 50. So what we're saying is, look at this, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, right? Just to do it a little different this time. This is 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350. Right? Now look at this. 1 piece, 2 piece. This is the 2 and this is the 5 here. Right? And so what we're saying is the person that gets only 2 piece in that ratio is going to be 50 plus 50, which is 100. Right? The person that just gets 100, that's the smaller share. So that is 100. Alright, just to think outside of the box instead of doing regular computation, right? I just wanted you to see it a little bit different. Question 6, it says there are 40 students in a class. Girls make up 60% of the class. So if girls make up 60% of the class, we can already figure out how many girls there are, right? So girls would be 60% of the class, 60 out of 100 times 40. If you just work this out now, this 0 cancel this 0 cancel this 0, and 6 times 4 is 24. So there are 24 girls in the classroom. And then it says 25% of the girls wear glasses. So 25% now of the 24 girls wear glasses. So 25 over 100 times 24. 25 into itself goes 1 time. 25 into 100 goes 4 times. And this becomes 24 over 4. That is 6. So 6 girls in the classroom wear glasses. Alright, now I'm just going to change the color because I know the yellow might not be so clear to many persons. So let me change the color. Alright, let's go with true blue. I hope blue is better. Now this question number 7 says if the universal set U is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and H is 3, 4, 6, then H prime is all the members of U that are not in H. So what is in U not in H? So notice these are H, right? 3, 4, 6, 3, 4, 6. So H prime is going to be not in H, which would be the ones that we didn't underline. 1, 2, and 5. That is H prime. 1, 2, and 5. That is B for number 7. Question 8, it says which of the following statement describes the set of integers greater than -3 but less than 6? So if you're greater, this is how you write it. X is going to be greater than -3, but it is less than 6. Alright, so we're looking for which one is that option. Clearly that would be option D. Option D. Alright, option D. Question 9. Question 9 says if X and Y are two finite sets such that the number of elements in set X is 9 and the number of elements in the intersection of X and Y is 4 and the number of elements in X union Y is 15, then N intersect Y is, there's a formula to remember here. Always remember the number of X union Y is equal to the number of elements in X plus the number of elements in Y minus the number of elements in X intersect Y. So in this case, X union Y is 15. Number of elements in X is 9. Plus, we don't know the number of elements in Y. Minus the intersection, and they told us the intersection is 4. 9 minus 4 is 5. So that would be 5. Plus number of elements in Y is equal to 15. So if we bring the 5 to the other side, 15 minus 5 is 10. So the number of elements in Y is 10. That would be option C. Nice. And so that takes care of the first 9 questions on the January 2022 paper. Wow! Alright. So now let's move on. So item 10, it says, item 10 refers to the following Venn diagram. In the Venn diagram, X represents the set of factors of 12, Y represents the set of factors of 9. The shaded region represents the set of all factors of. So X, remember, represents the set of factors of 12. Factors of 12 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. Those are factors of 12. And then the factors of 9 is in set Y. So set Y would be 1, 3, 9. So now the shaded region represents what's in common. What's in common between these two have to be 3. That's it. Easy stuff. Alright, so question 11, it says, the 30 students in Teacher May's class have either a dog or a cat, or none of the two. All of the students who have a cat have a dog. So let's write that in set notation form. So what they're literally telling us is everybody who have a cat must have a dog, right? So what that means is the 12 persons that have a cat, the 12 of those persons have a dog. So that means we're only going to have four persons that have dog only. So dog only is going to be equal to 4, right? There's no cats only, right? Dogs only is 4. So which of the following Venn diagram correctly represents this information? So we're looking for a set with dogs only being 4. Now here it is. Option D. Look at this. Cats 12, dogs only 4, total dogs 16. The 4 plus the 12, 16. Because cats only is a subset of the dogs. Because every person with a cat also have a dog. So that is option D. Wow. Alright, so this question tested our skills of subsets. Alright, so that was question 11. Question 11 is D. Alright, question 12. Question 12 says, which of the following pairs of sets is an example of disjoint sets? So let's see. Alright, so I usually like to draw the diagram to see it, but you don't necessarily have to draw the diagram, right? So look at this one right here, even numbers and odd numbers. I think that's pretty clear. If you were to just, visually look at it in your mind, remember I say you don't have to draw it. Even numbers E, odd numbers O. This is disjointed. Oh, odd numbers is F. Sorry, I should have put F. Alright, even numbers would be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Odd numbers are 1, 2, 1, 3, 5, 7. Notice nothing is overlapping, and so it is option A. Alright, that's disjoint sets. Nice. Alright, question 13, it says if EC 2.5 is equivalent to US $1, then 20 EC is. So to find out what 20 EC is in US, we just need to divide $20 by 2.5. So when we divide $20 by 2.5, that should roughly give about 8. Alright? And so therefore in US dollars, it's going to be 8 US dollars. Nice. Alright, question 14, it says, at a store, 3 cents on every dollar spent is charged as sales tax. How much is paid as sales tax on a costume which costs $196? Now notice every 3 cents on every dollar spent. 3 cents for every dollar, So what that means is for every $1, you're paying 0.03 cents. So if you spend $196, then you're going to spend 196 times 0.03. That's what you're going to pay in tax. Alright, so let's multiply these. 1.96 times 0.03. What I like to do is just multiply 196 times 3, and then I'm going to put 2 decimal place. 3 6 is 18, bring up 1. 3 9s 27 plus 1 28, bring up 2. 3 1s, 3 times 1 3 plus 2 is 5. But when you multiply these two numbers, you should have 2 decimal place. And so that would be when you multiply 196 times 0.03. So that's $5.88. That's what you'd pay in tax. Question 15. The cash price of a television set is $350 When bought on higher purchase, a deposit of 35 is required, followed by 12 monthly payments. How much money is saved by paying cash? So let's see. So first thing you need to do is, if you're going to buy it on higher purchase, you pay the deposit, $35. Then you need to pay 12 monthly payments of $30. So that's 12 times 30. So that's going to be 35 plus 12 times 3 is 360. So 12 times 30 is 360. So this works out to be 395. So this is what you'd pay on higher purchase. So how much you'd save if you pay straight cash would be, so this is savings now. Savings would be 395 minus 350. That's $45. So literally they're telling you to don't buy anything on higher purchase, just buy it with straight cash. Question 16. A company employs 20 persons as gardeners and clerks. The mean daily wage of all the employees is 22.4. If each of the 12 gardeners is paid 26 per day, then the daily amount paid to the 8 clerks is, so the mean daily wage is 22.4, right? That's the mean daily wage. Now, if this is the mean daily wage of the 20 persons, let's multiply it by 20. We're going to multiply it by 20. By multiplying it by 20, that will give us the sum of all the money paid to the 20 persons. Alright? So 2 2's 4, that works out to be, alright, let me go ahead and do it. 2240 times 20. And you're probably wondering, where's the decimal place? Don't worry, I'm going to put the decimal after. 20 times 0 is 0. 20 times 4 is 80. So I bring up 8. 20 times 2 is 40. Plus 8 is 48. And I bring up 4. 20 times 2 is 40. Plus 4, that's 44. And then I need it to 2 decimal places. So 2 decimal place would be 1, 2 right here. So that's 448. That's the sum. So what they're telling us then is 448 is equal to, it says if each of the 12 gardeners is paid $26, right? Each of the 12 gardeners is paid $26. So 26 times 12, this is the sum of the gardener's pay. 12 times 6 is 72. So bring up 7. 12 2 is 24 plus 7 is 31. So this is 312 plus the wage for the clerks. So the wage for the 8 clerks. So let's just put 8C. And we're trying to find C. C will give us how much each individual clerk is paid. So subtract 312 from 448. 448 minus 312, that will give us 631. So that means 136 is 8C. So to find how much each individual clerk is paid, we need to divide 136 by 8 now. 8 into itself one time, 8 into 13. One time, bring over 5, 8 into 56, 7 times. So each clerk is paid $17. Alright, so the gardeners are paid more than the clerk.
Wow!
Alright, so question 17, it says Delano invests $5,000 for 2 years in an investment scheme. The investment earns compound interest of 8% per annum. What will be the amount of Delano's investment at the end of the 2-year period? So first thing we need to do, they want to know what will be the amount of investment, right? So what's going to be the final amount on his investment? So for year one, right, it would be interest is equal to principal times rate times time. all divided by 100. In this case now, its interest is going to be principal of 5,000 times the rate of 2 years times, well, the time is 2 years and the rate is 8%. So that's 8 over 100. All right. Now this 0 cancels this 0. This 0 cancels this 0. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 times 5. 16 times 5 would be 80. All right. I was doing it mentally. I know I was a little slow there. You might be quicker. But guys, this would be simple interest formula. This would be simple interest formula. Notice that I just plug in year 2. Now compound interest is always going to be greater than simple interest. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that it's going to be 832. This would be the simple interest of it. Alright? I couldn't bother to work out year 1 and then year 2. That's how you actually do it using compound interest. Compound interest would mean for year 1, we have to work out principal times for 1 year at that interest over 100. And after we do that now, after doing all of this work, 8 5s 40. So this would be, what is that? 8 times 50 is 400. That's what we get, right? So the new principal in year 2 would be 5,400 multiplied by 1 times the interest of 8 over 100. These two zeros still cancel. 8 times 54. That works out to be 832. Alright, and that gives you the interest right there. Alright, sorry for the delay so long. As I said, I worked it out mentally. 54 times 8, I didn't show it here. Right, so 832. That is it, compound interest. Alright, compound interest. Right, so this is the actual calculation that you'd want to do. This right here, what I did was a simple interest, and then I knew that compound would be greater. Alright, so I'm just trying to show you a quick way you can cheat the system. But then, is 832 really the answer? I made a mistake. My apologies, guys. What will be the amount of Delano's investment? I am giving them the interest. You need to add it back to the principal. You need to add it back to the principal to write down what is going to be Delano's investment. So when you add 832 to his initial $500, that is 5,832. So that's option D. Alright? Now. Alright, question 18. Question 18 says a car presently values $12,000, depreciates at a rate of 10% per annum. What will be the value of the car 1 year later? So if it depreciates 10%, that means that the car is only worth 90% of its initial value. So 90% of 12,000, right? It's only worth 90% of its initial value because we subtract 10%. So 90% of 12,000, that's going to be this 0 cancel this 0, this 0 cancel this 0. And so 12 times 9 is 108. So this would work out to be $10,800. That is going to be option A. Next. Question 19. Question 19 says a man's basic wage for 40 hours is $160 in a week. He is paid $5 per hour for overtime. If he works 6.5 hours overtime in a certain week, then his wage for that week is, now notice it says that he's paid $5 per hour overtime. So the $5 multiplied by how many overtime hours did he work? 6.5. So we multiply 5 times 6.5. Right? So we multiply 5.6.5. that is going to be, let me do it this way, 6.5 times 5. 5 5's 25, carry up 2, 5 2's 5, 6, 30, 30 plus 2, 32, 1 decimal place. So its overtime wage is $32. But then $32.50 plus the 160, we add those, we get 192.50. So that's how much he makes for that particular week. Nice. Question 20. A salesman sells a car of $10,500. If he is paid a commission of 5% for the first $10,000 and 8% on the remainder, then the total commission he receives is, so he's paid 5% on the first 10,000. So 5% of 10,000, this 0 and this 0 cancel these two zeros. 5 times 100 is 500. So that's his commission from the first 10,000. So the first commission is 500. Now, it says he then receives 8% on the remainder. 8% of the remainder. Now, if you take away 10,000 from 10,500, you're left back with 500. So 8% of 500 is, these two zeros cancel each other, and 8 times 5 is 40. So this is his second commission. So the second commission is 40. So 500 plus that 40 is 540. So he receives 540 as his total commission. Alright, nice. Question 21 says Althea normally saves X dollars each month, but in June, she saved more than twice her usual amount. She saved 4 more. So 4 more, you start with X, and then 4 more, you add 4, than twice her usual amount. So 4 more than twice. So twice meaning multiply it now by 2. So it's going to be 2 times in bracket X plus 4, which is option D. Alright, question 22. Question 22 says, if m star n is equal to the square root of m cubed minus n squared, then 5 star 2 is. So all you're going to do is replace m with 5 and n with 2. So we're going to get 5 star 2 is equal to the square root of 5 cube minus 2 square. That is 5 cube is 125 minus 2 square is 4. The square root of that is going to be 125 minus 4, which is 121. The square root of 121 is 11. So 11, that is option D. Nice. Question 23. Question 23 says, the trapezium with height h has an area of x squared. The equation that may be used to find the value of x is. So, once they're giving you area, right, then we know the formula for area of a trapezium. Area of a trapezium is equal to a half the sum of the parallel sides. The parallel sides here are 2 and x minus 4. Right? So in that case, it's going to be a half. Or let me just write it down here. So the area is equal to a half in bracket 2 plus x minus 4. And then that is then multiplied by the height of h. But then they also told us that the area is x squared. The area is also x squared. So what they're telling us then is x squared is equal to a half in bracket. Now 2 plus x minus 4. You see that 2 plus this minus 4? 2 plus minus 4 is just negative 2. In other words, it's going to work out to be x minus 2 multiplied by h. all we do is simplify this right here to become this. So look which one that is, and that is going to be option A. Here it is, option A. Nice. Question 24. Minus 2q minus 3q is, minus and minus become plus, so that's 2q minus 3q, which is negative q. Negative q is option C. Alright, question 25. It says we have 5 to the n plus 1 multiplied by 5 to the n plus 2 is going to be, when the bases are the same, we add the power. So it's 5 to the n plus 1 plus n plus 2, which works out to be 5 to the n plus n is 2n, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So it's 5 to the 2n plus 3. That's option B. Alright? Nice. So we realize there's a lot of new questions on this paper. Question 26. Solving this equation for y, we just need to expand in the bracket. 5 times y is 5y. 5 times minus 2, that's minus 10. Minus 3 times y is minus 3y. Minus 3 times 4 is minus 12, equal to 0. Then 5y minus 3y is 2y. And then minus 10 minus 12 is minus 22, equal to 0. So 2y is 22. Then we divide both sides by 2. This cancel this. 22 over 2 is 11. So y works out to be 11. Alright, this would work out to be 11. Alright. Question 27. It says the vector p minus q is represented by p, which is 3, 7, minus q, which is negative 2, 5. That will be 3 minus minus 2. Minus and minus become plus, so that's 3 plus 2. And then we have 7 minus 5. That works out to be 5. And 7 minus 5 is 2, so that's 5, 2. That's option C. Nice. Question 28. It says, this refers to a parallelogram in which EF is parallel to HG, EH is parallel to FG, and EF is K and EH is M. EG expressed in terms of K and M is, so we're going from E to G, right? So to go from E to G, first thing we need to do is go from E to H. So let's write it down here. Going from E to G, we need to go from E to H, and then we need to go from H to G. That's how we're going to do it. This is a plus. Now going from E to H, sorry, I'm just not writing the right thing here. My sincere apologies. We went from E to H here. Alright. Now, as we go from E to H, they told us E to H is M. And after we go from E to H, we then go from H to G. But they told us what? They told us that EF and HG are parallel. Since these two sides are parallel, then H to G is also K. So that's M plus K. In other words, we can say K plus M. K plus M. Option A. Alright, nice. That's option A. Alright, question 29. It says, if 5 times xy is equal to 4 times 1020, then the values of x and y are, if we multiply in the 5, this is saying 5x, 5y, and that's equal to 4 times 1020 is 40, 80. So all you're then saying is 5x must be 40. And if we divide both sides by 5, that will give us x is equal to 8. And also 5y equal 80. And if we divide both sides by 5, that will give us y equals 16. That's option B. Question 30. Find out what is the matrix product A times B. So we need to multiply A times B. So 1, 3 minus 3, 3, 0, 5 multiplied by the matrix B, which is 3, 0, 2, 1, 0, 5. Multiplying the matrix, we know it's row by column. So it's going to be first row, first column, which will be, this is then the first element right here. It's 1 times 3, which is 3, plus 3 times 2, which is 6. Then negative 3 times 0, that's 0. Then the next element is going to be first row by second column. 1 times 0 is 0, plus 3 times 1 is 3, plus negative 3 times 5 is minus 15. Then the third element is second row by first column. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 0 times 2 is 0, and 5 times 0 is 0. Then lastly, we'll go second row by second column. 3 times 0 is 0, 0 times 1 is 0, and 5 times 5 is 25. So simplifying, 3 plus 6 is 9. 3 minus 15 is minus 12. This is 9, then we have 25. So 9 minus 12, 9, 25. Which one is that? That's option B. Nice.
Wow!
Alright, question 31. It says, if it took a speedboat 9 hours to travel the distance of 1,080 kilometers, what is the average speed? Remember, speed is equal to distance over time. So the distance is 1,080 divided by the time of 9. 9 into itself 1 time. 9 into 108 goes 12 times. And so this is working out to be 120. So 120 is option C. Here it is, option C. That's 120. That's the speed. All right. All right. Now, question 32 says the perimeter of the trapezium in millimeters is, perimeter is just the total distance around. So we add up 0.12, 0.41, 0.21, and 0.18. Adding those, we will get 2 and 1 is 3, and 1 is 4, and 8 is 12. Bring up 1. 1 and 1 is 2, and 4 is 6, and 2 is 8, and 1 is 9. That's 0.92. Alright, that's 0.92. But this is 0.92 what? 0.92 meters. If we want it in millimeters, we need to multiply it by 1,000. Multiplying it by 1,000, that is going to give us 920 millimeters. So it's 920, option B. Alright, remember 1 meter is equal to 1,000 millimeter. Alright. Alright, now question 33 says if the circumference of a circle is 15 centimeter, then the length of the minor arc AB is the length of the minor arc, this minor arc. Now, as you can see, the angle here is 120, so the length of a minor arc, remember, is theta, the angle that they give us, theta, which is 120 over 360, right, multiplied by the circumference, and the circumference they told us is 15. Alright, so that will be the formula, 120 over 360 times 15, which is option B. Alright, question 34, it says an aircraft leaves A at 16 hours and arrives at B at 19:30 hours, traveling at a speed of 550 kilometers per hour. A and B are in the same time zone. The distance from A to B is, first thing, remember that speed is equal to distance over time. V is speed, S is distance, T is time. Now, look at this right here. Which one did they give us? They give us the speed. The speed is 550, right? So they're telling us that the speed 550 is equal to the distance. What is the distance? We don't know. That's what we're trying to find, the distance. So we don't know the distance, and they give us the time from 6 to 1930. So 16 to 1930, that's really 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. is 3 hours and 30 minutes. All right, so the time they're telling us is 3 hours and 30 minutes. In other words, we can write that as 3.5 hours. All right, because we need it per hour. That's 3.5 hour. So now, in order to find S, we're going to cross multiply. So S is 550 times 3.5. That will give us the distance. So let's work that out. All right, so 550 times 35. All right, now 35 times 0 is 0. 35 times 5, that will be. Now you don't have to do the calculation so big. You can go 5 times 0. Then 5 times 5 is 25. Bring up 2. 5 times 5 is 25. Plus 2 is 27. Then put with 0 here. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. Bring up 1. 3 times 5 is 15. And then this is 15 plus 1, which is 16. Alright, you can do that. Don't worry. You do it nice and easy. 0, 5, 12. Bring up 1. And this is now 3 plus 9. 3 plus 6, which is 9. And 1. And remember, we had a point right here. So we'll put back our point here for 1 decimal place. And this is 1,225. Alright, I was about to do it mentally and quick, but I just want to show all the steps. So I will try to go as slow as possible to not skip any steps. Alright, from time to time I may skip some steps, and my apologies. I'm going as slow as possible. Alright, so this question right here, and the reason why I skip some steps sometimes is because it's a MCQ, and we want to practice, to just get to the answer quickly. Alright, so sometimes that is why I skip the steps, but my apologies. Now, item 35 refers to the following diagram, which shows a circle with center O and the major and minor arcs indicated. It says the length of the major arc FE is 40 centimeters. What is the circumference of the circle? So they're telling us that the major arc, this distance coming around here, entire thing coming around here is 40, right? Now if you were to look at the angle, this angle is 300 degrees, right? Notice that 60 is what? Only 1/5 of it. What we're saying then, that 300, right? 300 degrees, that corresponds to the arc length of 40. And so we're saying 60 degrees would correspond to 1/5 of it. 1/5 of 40, 1/5 of 40 would be 8. So what we're saying, if you add those now, 40 plus 8 is 48. Alright? So therefore the circumference of the whole circle would be 48, because this small piece that is missing is 8 centimeters. Alright, so the whole thing is 48. Alright, question 36. It says the volume of a cuboid is 320 centimeter cube and the height is 5. If the cuboid has a square base, what is the length of one side of the base? So volume of a cuboid is equal to area of the cross section. Volume of the cuboid is area of the cross section multiplied by the height. Now they give us the height, which is 5, And the area of the cross section, they tell us that the area of the cross section is square base. So if it is square base, we can call one side x and another side x. So x times x is x squared, and the volume is 320. If we divide both sides by 5, we get 320 over 5 is x squared, and that works out to be 5 into itself 1, 5 into 32 6, and that leaves a remainder of 2. 5 into 20 goes 4 times. So x squared equal to 64. So we square root both sides. So x is now the square root of 64, which is 8. In other words, what is the length of one side of the base? The length of one side of the base is 8 centimeters.
Wow!
Nice. Question 37. The area of a triangle is 60 centimeters square and its base is 12. What is the perpendicular height? So if we draw a triangle, they tell us that the area is 60, right? But we know that area is half base times height. So half the base, they tell us the base is 12 times the height. So a half of 12 is 6. So 6h is 60. It will divide both sides by 6. And so therefore h would work out to be 60 over 6, which is 10. So the height is 10. Alright? Nice. Question 38, it says a square has the same area as a rectangle with lengths 9 cm and 16 cm. What is the length of the side of the square? So first thing is the rectangle right here. It has sides 16 and 9. 16 times 9 is 144. So the area of the rectangle would be 9 times 16, which is 144. And so therefore the area of the square, if this is the square, right, let's say this side is x and x. They tell us that they have the same area. They have the same area. So that means the area of the square, which is x squared, is 144. So x will be the square root of 144, which we know is 12. X is 12. Nice. Alright, question 39. It says the upper limit of the modal class is. Modal class is where the frequency is highest. The frequency is highest in this region where we say 40, right? And so they want the upper limit. The upper limit is the bigger number 60. That's the upper limit, 60. Alright, nice. Now it says how many children have a mass greater than 40? Now having a mass greater than 40, let's see, 21 to 30, no. 31 to 40, no. Here's the greater than 40. These are children with a mass greater than 40 kilogram. So we add up these, 24 and 40 is 64. 64 and 18 is 82. So we add up these three numbers, we get 82. So in that case, it's going to be option D. Alright, now. Question 41, it says, it gives us this table and said the modal score is. So again, you look at the frequency, alright? So the frequency. So it shows the frequency of scores obtained by students. So how many students obtain the score of 8? How many students obtain the score of 8? 12 students. So definitely this is going to be the most frequent. So the most frequent score is 8. And so therefore the modal score is 8. Alright, please don't put 12. It's just telling us that 12 is the frequency. Alright, 12 students get 8. 8 is the modal score. Alright, question 42. It wants us to find the median. So remember, all you're going to do, divide 200 by 2 to get 100. Then you go to 100 on the graph. Then you're going to draw a dotted line. After you draw a dotted line over to there, this x value that you're going to get is going to be the median. Alright, so that looks like 30, 35, 36, 37, 37 and a half. Right, the median is 37 and a half.
Wow!
That's the median. Easy stuff. Nice. Alright, that's the median. Alright, question 43. This is a big repeat question. I know it is 15, but just to show you how it is 15 again, number 4 here, age 5, this is 3, this is 4, this is 2, this is 5, and this is 1. If you add them up, 6, 8, 12, 15. That's the total amount of persons that took part in the survey. Question 44. 600 students write an examination. The probability of randomly selected students failing the exam is 1/5. How many students are expected to pass? So if fail is 1/5, then that means a pass is 4/5. So 4/5 of the 600 students is going to pass. So 5 into itself 1, 5 into 600, 120. 4 times 120 is 480. In that case, 480 students is expected to pass. Nice. Question 45. Which of the following equations represents a linear function? X times y? Nope. Once you see x times y, it's never linear. Once you see a x squared, never linear. Once you see a x squared, never linear. So it has to be number C. A linear equation is generally in the form y equal mx plus c. I know it's not in its standard form, but that would be the linear equation. Question 46. It says a set of ordered pair below represents a relation that is a function. Which of the following points, when added to the set, would form a relation that is not a function? So which of the points, if you add it to the set, would not make it a function? So let's see. Here it is. Well, let's see. 2, 8. That's okay, because we see 2 being mapped to 7. So remember, it is not a function when what happened? A function is when each element in the domain maps and maps to only one element in the range. So if we were to just do something like this so you can see what's happening, the domain numbers are 2, -4, and 10. 2 maps to 7, -4 maps to 6, and 10 maps to 4, right? So now, which one is going to make this not a function now? Let's see. If 0 maps to -4, nothing is wrong with that. If -8 maps to 10, -8 maps to a y value of 10, nothing is wrong with that. 2 maps to 8. Now, here's the issue. If we put 8 right here, right, let's change the color. If we put 8 there and 2 maps to 8, right, then this element right here is mapping to 2 different elements. And so that would make it not a function, right? Because 2 could map to 7 and then 2 are going to map to 8. So that is the point that would make it not a function. Nice. Question 47. The diagram above represents which relation? Let's see. We're going from x to y. So we see 8 goes to 2, 9 goes to 3. Oh, 8 also go to 4 and 10 also go to 2. So x, it looks like x is going to be some multiple of y. So let's see if that is there. X is a multiple of y? Yes. X is not a factor of y? No. Y is not a multiple of x. Y is more than x? No. It's only option B. X is a multiple of y. Alright? X is a multiple of y. Alright, question 48 says, what is the gradient of the straight line 2y equal negative 3x minus 8? So first thing, we need to divide both sides by 2 to get it in standard form. So y would be equal to negative 3 over 2x minus 4. And so the gradient is negative 3 over 2. That's the gradient. Question 49. Find what is h of negative 6. Input x as negative 6. So h of negative 6 is 3 times negative 6 minus 2 over 5. That would be negative 18 minus 2 over 5, which is negative 20 over 5, which is negative 4. That is option A. Alright, nice. It says the range of f of x when the function is mapped to x squared. So in other words, they're telling us f of x is equal to minus x squared. For the domain minus 2 minus 1, 0, 1, 4 is, we'll plug in negative 2, right? It would be negative of negative 2 squared. That would be negative 4. This would be negative 4. All right, negative of negative 1 squared. That would be minus of 1. And then when you plug in 0, you get 0. When we plug in 1, we're going to get minus of 1 squared, which is still minus 1. Or plug in 2, we still get minus 4. In other words, the range is just negative 4, negative 1, and 0, which is option B. That's it. Alright? Now, question 51. A line L is parallel to the line 2x minus 5y minus 8. What is the gradient of L? So the gradient of L is going to be the gradient of this line. When two lines are parallel, they have the same gradient. So let's put this in standard form. So bring over the y over to this side to get 5y is equal to 2x minus 8. So I brought the 5y over this side. So if 5y is 2x minus 8, we can divide both sides by 5. This cancels this, so y is equal to 2 over 5x minus 8 over 5. So the gradient is just going to be 2 over 5. Alright, because the lines are parallel. Alright, question 52 says the value of x at the points where y equals 4x minus x squared intersects y equals 0 are. So first we're going to do is set y to be 0. And that's 4x minus x squared. When we factorize it, that would give us x in bracket 4 minus x. So we're saying x equals 0 or x equal to 4. Those are the two answers. X equals 0 or x equal to 4. That's option 2. Alright, question 53. We see it is translation. And let's hear what they ask us. It says, in the diagram, the translation by which AB is mapped to A prime, B prime is represented by. Notice that to go from 2 to 4, notice the change in x. The change in x is what? The change in x is positive 2. And then notice the change in y. So let me put it in blue. To go from 5 to 6, that's positive 1, right? So the translation vector is going to be t is equal to 2, 1. All right, that's it. T is equal to 2, 1. Nice. All right, question 54. It says, which of the following best describes the relationship between P and Q? Now realize we have two parallel lines and a transversal line. So P is going to be equal to Q. That's just option A. P equal Q. There's nothing much to that question there. That's a big repeat. Question 55. It says a ship sailed 8 kilometers due east from A. So if this is A, we're going to sail 8 kilometers east. We're going this way. All right, east to some point B, 8 kilometers. And then it says, it then sails 6 kilometers due, north. So we're going up now to sea, and it is 6 kilometers. It says, which of the following best represent the path of the ship? So it should look something like this. So look for which one look like that. 8 kilometers going east, 6 kilometers going north. That's option C. All right, that is option C. That's all. 8 kilometers east and 6 kilometers north. That's it. All right, question 56. It says, if O is the center of the circle, then Y is... Now remember, angle at the center is twice the size angle at the circumference. So if the angle at the circumference is 50, then the angle at the center is going to be 2 times 50, which is 100 degrees. So Y is 100 degrees. Easy stuff. Nice. All right, question 57. It says, if the line Y equal X is rotated anti-clockwise about the origin through 90 degrees, then its image is Y equal to minus X. This is a repeat question, big repeat question. I don't remember which year it's from, but I know this one is a big repeat. That's option A. Question 58. In triangle ABC, angle A is X, angle B is 2X. What is angle C? So if we draw a triangle just to show you what's happening, this is A, B, and we have angle C. Then angle C is going to be 180 minus A minus B. So it's going to be 180 minus A is X minus B is 2X. That's just 180 minus 3X. That's angle C. Alright, easy stuff. Because angles in a triangle sum to 180. Question 59. Question 59 is trigonometry, and it says if X is 12 meters from Y, then the height YZ in meters is... So the height YZ, this is YZ. This side right here, YZ. Now first thing is we need an angle inside of the triangle, right? Now if this angle is 35, then this angle down here should also be 35 by Z angles. Yeah, we can use Z angles. So this angle down here should also be 35. If this angle is 35, right, and we're trying to find YZ, then what we have is the adjacent, and we have trying to find the opposite, right? So we use tan. So the tan of the angle 35 is equal to the opposite, which is YZ, over the adjacent, and the adjacent is 12. And so when we cross multiply, we get YZ is 12 times the tan of 35. That's option C. Alright, question 60, it says, which trig ratio is equal to 4 over 8? So this is 4 right here, and this is 8. Which one is it going to be? If we're talking about X right here, if this is the angle, then 4 would be opposite to that angle. So the sine of X would be equal to the opposite 4 over the hypotenuse of 8. So it has to be sine X. That's option A. And that completes the January 2022 paper. Really nice. So I hope you had lots of fun doing this paper. Alright? Really, really, really nice. That's it.